Again, if you haven't met me yet, my name is Bree, and this is an all levels vinyasa class. We're gonna take it a little more chill today and work on the hips. So think all levels vinyasa, but more kind of level 1 style. So find yourself in a comfortable seat. It can be a crisscross applesauce like I'm in, or you can sit up on a block to give yourself some height if you have one, whatever feels comfortable for you. Bring your hands face down on your lap and lengthen up through the spine, through the crown of the head. And if it feels comfortable for you, close your eyelids down and just take a moment to arrive on your mat and in your body. Feel your connection to the earth as your pelvis heavies down. Notice the rhythm of the breath. And allow your breath to deepen and lengthen in both directions. Notice where the breath is moving in your body. And breathe the breath deep down into the pit of the belly, to the sides of the body, and to the back of the body. Really working to expand through the lungs 3-dimensionally. Heavy your pelvis down into the earth. Inhale, circle sweep, reach your arms high, maybe even look up. Join your hands at a prayer, Anjali Mudra. Bring the prayer all the way down to heart center. If you have an intention you'd like to set for class, for your day, or for the rest of the week to come, take this moment now to do so. Take a full inhale through your nose. Big exhale out through the mouth, HA. One more breath in. Cleansing breath out, release. And take a soft bow, forehead to fingertips. Taking a moment to just give yourself a little gratitude for showing up, for being here in this practice with yourself, with your body, with your mind today. Lift your skull up and right away come to a tabletop position. So as you land in a tabletop, spread nice and wide through your fingers. Stack your hands below your shoulders and look at your fingers. So your pointer fingers should be facing straight ahead and the wrist creases will line up with the front edge of the mat. To really grip the ground with the finger pads and root down through the perimeter of your palms. Inhale, shift your sit bones to the sky. Open up through the heart space, cow spine, wrap your triceps in towards the rib cage. Exhale, round, press the tops of the feet into the ground as you puff up into the back body, cat spine, spinal flexion. Move with your breath here. Inhale, shift your sit bones to the sky, melt through the heart, broad and through the collarbones, cow. Exhale, round, press your hands and your knees into the mat as you puff up into the back body, cat. One more like that. Inhale, cow spine, just following your breath. Exhale, round, puff up into the back body, cat spine. Come to a little bit more of a neutral position here. Tuck your toes and shift your hips up and back, dog pose. Now stay in dog. I'm going to walk back to a forward fold so I can take my socks off. If you have socks on, maybe you do the same so you have a little more grip with your feet. And in dog pose, give yourself a little fidgets. It's the first down dog of the day, so pedal it out. Push one heel down and then the other. Stretching through the backs of the legs here. Keep a little tone to the belly. Now find stillness in your dog pose. Bend your knees a touch, and with the bend in the knees, squeeze your shins towards the midline, creating some strength. Press the tops of your thigh bones back into space. Send your sit bones higher to the sky. Lift your shoulders up a little bit. And from the back of the heart, stretch down and out through the arms like you're sinking your hands deeper into the earth. And let your hips go high to the sky. Inhale, spike your heels high like a wave. Round yourself all the way forward to a plank position. Press the earth away as you land in a plank. Bend your knees, send your hips up and back, so all the way to dog pose. Inhale, coming through flexion. Land in plank. And then bend the knees. You're finding extension, cow spine, all the way back, dog pose. One more like that. Big wave all the way forward. Bend your knees, send your hips all the way up and back, dog pose. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Option to lower your knees, or you can skip it. Lower all the way down to the mat. As your chest grounds, press the tops of the feet down. Energize through your legs. Come up to a little baby cobra or a floating cobra. So just float your hands. Find the rootedness in the pelvis and through the tops of the feet. Squeeze your elbows towards your rib cage to get a little bit more lift. Exhale, release, lower down. Now maybe medium cobra. Inhale, rise up. You can use your hands, but remember that strength in your back body. Keep your pelvic bone pressing into the earth, always in cobra pose. Exhale, folds. Last one, inhale, rise up. Come as high as you would like, as long as there's no discomfort in your low back. And find the lateral glide. Just kind of sway a little side to side on the vertebrae. Slowly lower yourself all the way down. Press your way up through a tabletop. Shift your hips back to a child's pose with your toes tucked. So you're getting a little stretch through the feet here. Press your hands into the mat nice and strong. All right, come up to a tabletop. From your tabletop, reach your right leg high to the sky. Inhale. And exhale, pull it in, knee towards nose, curl. Inhale, reach to high. One more time like that. Exhale, knee towards nose, round. This time, reach it high, lift your knee up, three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale, pull your knee towards your nose. Now listen carefully. Ground your right toes and your right knee, and then ground your left knee and your left toes. So it's kind of like a low lunge, but you're on your knees and your toes and your feet are tucked. Rise up. If you have a block, you could have a block, but you should be able to hold yourself up here by squeezing the knees towards one another. So find that engagement with your knees hugging the midline. This is very important. Come back down for a moment. Remember that engagement. Inhale, untuck through the tail. Find cow spine, kind of releasing the engagement through the knees. Exhale, squeeze or hug the knees towards one another and round into a cat spine. So you should feel a nice stretch through your kind of groin hip flexor. It's a muscle called your psoas. Inhale, untuck through the tail, cow spine, releasing that tug. Exhale, squeeze it in. Pull your knees towards one another as you round. One more like that. Inhale, reach it. Reach your tailbone back, cow spine. And exhale, curl it in, round. And then from here, bring your left knee up to the right, toes tucked, fire toes, Vajrasana. If your pinky toe and your ring finger toe are curling under, you can reach back and just kind of pull those toes under. Stretch your arms out, palms facing down, wake up the wrists, start to do little stress squeezes for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, breathe in. Breathe out. Bring your arms facing up again, or hands out, palms facing up this time, and little stress ball squeezes. You're moving fast here for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your hands on the mat. Now you can either step back to plank, or if you want it to be a little playful, hop back to a chaturanga push-up. You can even lower your knees there. Lower the hips. Inhale, pull the heart through to a cobra pose. And take it back, child's pose. Tuck your toes, giving those feet a little bit of a stretch. And you can take any child's pose that feels authentic to you. This is just what I'm offering, but it doesn't mean that's what your body wants. So be sure to listen to your body today. Come forward back to the tabletop. Reach your left knee up and melt through your heart. So cow spine, inhale. Exhale, pull it in, knee to nose round. Inhale, reach it up and long. Exhale, feel that engagement, curl it in, knee towards nose. Inhale, reach it high. This time, reach the right knee off of the ground, three-legged dog, inhale. Exhale, pull left knee towards nose, round. Lower your left toes, your left knee. Your right knee and your right toes are already down. Take a moment to come up, feel the squeeze of the midline. So you're squeezing your knees towards one another. This is the aspect of scissoring the legs and activating through your inner thighs. Now, bring your hands to the earth. Inhale, untuck through the tailbone, cow spine. Exhale, curl it in. Squeeze your knees towards one another. Tuck as much as you can, cat spine. Inhale, untuck, open up through your heart, cow. Exhale, round, curl it in to cat. One more like that. Inhale, cow. And exhale, curl it in to cat. Find a little bit more of a neutral position. Walk the right knee up towards the left. Sit on those toes if they need a little, or the heels rather, if they need a little untuck, give them that. And we'll do two more, waking up the wrists. So bring your arms again horizontal to the earth. This time your palms are faced out. Start to do little stress squeezes for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, breathe in. Breathe out. Bring your palms to face in and squeeze for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, faster, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, bring your hands down. If you want to try that jump back, it's pretty fun. You can always lower your knees. I'll show you the modified version. As you lift your knees, shoot your legs back, lower the knees to your chaturanga. Lower the hips, inhale, pull the heart through and cobra. Take it all the way back, your choice, child's pose. It could be knees wide, knees touching, toes tucked or untucked. Breathe. Come all the way up through tabletop. Tuck your toes and lift your hips up. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Find that nice engagement through your hands. Squeeze the hands into the earth as if you were palming a basketball. Stretch yourself in two different directions as you press down into the earth. Send your hips higher to the sky. Begin to make your feet as wide as mats distance apart. Start to walk your hands all the way back until your heels come down. Keep going. Send your hips so far back into space that all the weight is in your heels. Line up the outside edge of your feet with the long edge of the mat. And I'm going to say that again because in my public classes, most students do not get it. Outside edge of your feet is lined up with the long edge of the mat, so you're slightly pigeon-toed. Squeeze your shins towards the midline, finding an inner anchor through the base of your legs. Widen the inner thighs back and apart and breathe more breath into the back of the body. With each exhale, pull navel towards spine. On your inhale, halfway lift, glide your hands up your shins. Take any rounding out of your spine. Exhale, folds. Press into the earth. Inhale, glide your hands up your shins, up your thighs, all the way to stand. Step your feet back to hip distance apart. Mountain pose. Check down, peek down at your feet, spread through the toes. Face your palms forward. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up and high. Grab your right wrist, exhale, side bend over to the left in Dudalasana. Energize through the legs. From the pelvis, press down into the earth. Inhale, back through center. Switch it up and take that side bend the other way. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, cactus your arms and open up through the heart. Think, bring the elbow tips forward and your hands farther back into space. Inhale, pull navel to spine, lift through the back sides of the waist as you reach your arms up. Exhale, twist, right arm back, left arm forward. So just getting in some more spinal movements here. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, twist the other way. Send your right hip forward at the same time. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, release your arms by your sides. Transfer your weight towards your left foot. Pull the right knee in towards your chest. Find a little stability here. Pull those toes up. Now open up through the hip. Find, I like to call it a floating tree. So bring the foot all the way to not touching the thigh, but it's like it's hovering. You could have your foot touching the thigh, but you're not using the midline to find stability. So rather, you're using the strength of your leg and your hip flexor to keep that leg lifted up. From the pelvis, stretch down and out through your standing leg. See if you can pull that right foot a little closer in towards the thigh. Lift your right knee up high and send your right knee back into space. Engage to the right glute nice and strong. Maybe you stretch your arms way up high to the sky as if it's tree branches, maybe wiggling a little bit in the wind. Take one more breath here. And then bring the knee up. Close the hip. Bring your hands to a prayer. Bend your knee. Now your heel's coming towards your sit bone. And see how far you can lift your heel up, up, up towards your butt and back. Kind of like if you're going to a dancer, but we're not going all the way there. And then release your foot. Tadasana, mountain pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Transfer your weight over to the other foot and spread through the toes. Root down into the four corners of your right foot. Pull the left knee in towards your chest. Find a moment to get stable here before moving on. From the pelvis, stretch down and out through the leg. Open up through your left hip. From here, bring your foot as close as you can towards your thigh or towards your shin. My foot ends up landing towards the knee. And so especially we don't want to push into the knee joint. So if you do have your foot touching the knee, do not hug and push it into the midline. All right, if you liked that nice open receiving posture, stretch those arms out. Actively pull energy up from the earth through the leg into the pelvis. From the left inner groin, stretch out through the left inner thigh, through the knee. Breathe. As the trees breathe out, we breathe in. Vrikshasana, tree pose. All right, bring that knee up, close the hips, bring your hands to a prayer, and just pull your heel towards your bum, keep engaged through your core, and then keep going and see how far you can send your knee back into space. Feel that engagement in the back of the leg, the hamstring. And slow and controlled release. So I believe we're at the back of our mat, but let's just come to the front. So walk your way to the front of the mat. Spread through your toes. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, hinging your hips forward, fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, fold. Step your left leg way back into space. If you need a little more cushion, you can always fold your yoga mat in, lower the back knee down, and rise up to a low lunge. Anjaneyasana. In your low lunge, let your pelvis be heavy and squeeze the inner thighs towards one another for stability. Lengthen up through the spine. Grab your left wrist, inhale. Exhale, side bend over towards the right. And so try just a neutral side bend where your shoulders are roughly square towards in line with one another. And then round, bring your left shoulder forward a touch, bow towards the right corner of the mat. Press down into the right big toe mount, squeeze your legs, inhale and back through center. Exhale, cactus your arms open up through the heart. Inhale, reach it high to the sky. Lift through the back sides of your waist. Exhale, bring your hands down, unfold your mat, lift off of the back knee, and step up, forward folds. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, fold. Press into the earth, inhale, circle sweep, reach up, follow your breath. Exhale, palms to heart. Inhale, reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hinge at your hips, soft bend in the knees, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. This time, step your right leg back. Fold the mat in if you need that extra support. Pull the legs towards one another as you rise up, low lunge. So to get an extra hip flexor stretch, you want your hips to ideally be in front of your back knee. Squeeze your inner thighs towards the midline. Breathe. Grab your right wrist this time. Inhale. And exhale, side bend over towards the left. So again, you're staying neutral with the shoulders in line with one another. And then start to bow, pull on your right wrist, come to the left corner, or bowing towards the left corner of your mat. Squeeze the legs towards the midline. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, cactus your arms and open up through your heart. Inhale, pull navel to spine, reach your arms high. Exhale, bring your hands down. Lift off of the back knee, step up, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold. Press into the earth, inhale, circle sweep, reach up. Exhale, palms to heart. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, sink your hips low to a chair pose. As your hips come low, keep the weight predominantly in your heels. Maybe you adjust your feet a little closer together. I like toes almost touching and a little gap through the heels, but it's your body. Find what feels good for you. And breathe. If you're not feeling the outer edge of your legs, your hips turning on here, try driving your heels down into the mat and pushing them out a little bit. Inhale. Exhale, sink your hips just a little lower. Take one more breath here. Now bring your hands behind your back. Interlace your hands. Let's go left thumb on top. Lift up through your heart space. Breath in. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Let your hands drop over the back body. Keeping as much bend in the knees as you'd like here. Squeeze your shins in and widen the inner thighs back and apart. Keep a micro bend in your elbows. Release your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, step your feet back, plank pose, press the earth away, nice and strong. Lower your left forearm down and then your right forearm down to a forearm plank. In your forearm plank, your hips should be roughly in line with your shoulders. Pull the navel up and in. Lengthen through the sides of the neck. Breathe. One more cycle of breath here. Release your hips down, Sphinx pose, pull the heart through. Press the tops of the feet down, broaden through the collarbones. Pull your right heel towards your sit bone, reach around with your right hand to grab your foot, and begin to pull your heel towards your bum. At the same time, kick your foot into your hands. So you could stay here, keep both hips heavy, especially if you're feeling a nice thigh stretch. This might be a good place to stop. If you want more, back your left hand up a little bit. Find more of a cobra pose in your upper back. And breathe. Pull that left shoulder back. Those of you that came up to cobra, lower the forearm down and release your foot, coming back to neutral Sphinx. Pull your knees back in towards the midline. Second side, pull your left heel towards your bum, reach around with your left hand to grab your foot. And you're trying to grab for the big toe side of your foot if that's accessible to you. If not, don't worry about it. Breathe. Slowly release your leg back to Sphinx pose. Soften your chest down to the ground. Bring your hands by your sides to tentative fingertips facing towards the toes, so right by your hips. Pull your belly up and away from the earth and press your pelvic bone down in the mat. Energize through your legs, lift up through your chest, through your shoulders, and lift your arms up. Keep your neck in line with the rest of your spine. Lift your feet up. Squeeze your pinkies towards one another. Flare through your toes and your fingers. So you're really lighting up every inch of your body here. Take one more inhale, finding that big extra lift. And as you exhale, release. Bring your hands by your sides. Press your way up through tabletop. Take it back to a child's pose, toes together, knees wide, forehead to the mat. And breathe. Inhale, start to rise your way all the way up through a tabletop. Tuck your toes and lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. From your down dog, inhale, reach your right leg high to the sky. Keep your toes pointing down. Exhale, bend your knee and open your hip. Squeeze the heel towards the bum. Create a big circle with your right knee in one direction. Take that circle with your right knee in the other direction. Inhale, straighten out through the leg. Wrap your right hip down. Pull knee towards nose, round. Plant your foot in between your hands. Come onto fingertips, or if you have a block, you can place a block on the inner edge of your hands and start to straighten out through your right leg. Breathe. Pull your right hip back as you wrap your left hip forward into space. Engage to the right side of your belly. Pull it up and away from the thigh. And if you'd like, you can round, maybe bring your forehead towards your shin here, coming into full flexion in your spine, known as cat spine. Inhale, bend into your front knee. Bring your back knee to a hover. Belly pulls in, chest through, palate back, cow spine. Exhale, straighten and fold. Cat spine. One more like that. Inhale, cow spine. Exhale, straighten and fold to a cat spine. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen out through the spine. Bend into your front knee. Check and see that your feet are hip distance apart so they're not on a tight rope. Magnetize your legs towards one another. Press into the earth as you rise up. Crescent lunge. As you land in crescent, let your hips be heavy and depress your back thigh back into space. That's going to help you open up the hip flexor even more. Hold opposite elbows here. And as you hold the opposite elbows, you're holding the elbow tips. Pull the tops of the ears back so your head is truly above, in line with the rest of your spine. Take a breath in. Exhale, a little side bend. Bring your right elbow over towards the right. Send your left elbow high to the sky. You can use that right hand to kind of pull on your upper arm here. Inhale, come back through center and take that side bend the other way. Inhale, come back through center. Reach your arms up. Pivot your back heel down, warrior two. Take a moment to check in. Front heel lines up with either the back heel or the middle of the back arch. Your back foot is parallel to the back of the mat or slightly turned in. Squeeze your legs towards one another, find strength. And from the pelvis, stretch down and out through the legs, finding length. And stretch out from the collarbones wide through your arms, through your fingertips. Inhale, flip your palm and reverse your warrior. Lean it back. Exhale, take it to a side angle, just moving with the breath here. If you'd like to extend it, reach your arm away in line with your ear. Press down and out through the legs. Inhale and reverse. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to land on the inside edge of your front foot. Take a wide step out with your back foot and pivot your back heel high to the sky. Lower your back knee down. Heel toe your right foot over towards the right. Use your right hand and press your right thigh bone away from you. So you could stay here. If you want twisted monkey, either put a block or water bottle underneath your hand or just reach with your right hand to grab for your back foot. If that feels really accessible to you, you could lower your forearm down to the earth to go a little deeper. Keep working the pose here. Pull both shoulders back. Twist your left torso underneath your right. Bring the sides of the neck back. Drink a full breath in. And as you exhale, release your foot all the way out. Bring your arm forward. Lift off of the back knee and step up to a malasana squat. Toes are nice and wide on your mat. Sink your hips as low as you would like without tucking through the tailbone. Send your right arm out to the earth. Ground your right hand fingertips. Inhale, reach your left arm high. Follow your breath. Exhale, back to center. Send your left arm out. Inhale, reach the right arm high. Exhale, back towards center. Option to find a little crow pose if that's in your practice. But if it's not, don't worry about it. Plant your hands, step or jump back. Chaturanga. Inhale, pull it through cobra. Exhale, take it back. Child's pose for a moment. Take 2 deep breaths here. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward and rise up, down dog. Reach your left leg high, bend your left knee and open up through your hip. Make your knee the highest point of the pose. Lift more up through that right shoulder to help stay neutral through the arms. Create a big circle with your left knee in one direction. Rewind, take that circle in the other direction. Inhale, straighten out through your left leg, wrap your left hip down. Exhale, pull your knee towards your nose, pop up into the back of the body. Plant your foot in between your hands. Come onto fingertips or a block. Straighten out through your left knee. When we have moments where we're pausing, where we're not really moving from posture to posture, that's your chance to recommit to that breath, to your inhales and your exhales, and staying focused on that breath. Trying to make the rhythm of your breath even and steady. Inhale, bend into your front knee. Bring your back knee to a hover. Pull your belly in, your chest through, and your palate back. Exhale, straighten and fold. Cat lunge. One more like that. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through your spine. Stack your front knee in line with the ankle. Squeeze your front heel back and your back toes forward. Find that strength in the legs and rise up. Crescent lunge. So hold opposite elbows this time. Whatever feels less natural, whatever you first do, it might be like the opposite. If you're having trouble finding stability here, keep pressing your left big toe mound down into the earth. Stay elevated off of your back heel and wrap or squeeze your back inner thigh forward and your left inner thigh back into space. Take an inhale. Exhale, send your left elbow way towards the left. Reach your right elbow high to the sky. Press down and out through your legs. Inhale back through center. Second side, reach your right elbow toward the right and left elbow nice and high. Inhale, press down into the earth as you come back through center. Reach your arms up and pivot your back heel down into the earth. If your leg is tired, give your front leg a little straightening. And then meet back in warrior two. Gaze over your middle finger. Breathe. Work to press your back thigh back into space and widen your front knee towards the pinky toe. Inhale, flip your palm, reach forward and reverse your warrior. Exhale, come to side angle, elbow to the thigh, reach your arm way in line with your ear. Wrap your left torso underneath the right. Press into the earth, inhale and reverse. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, pivot your back heel off of the mat and take a wide step. Heel toe your left foot over towards the left. So it's going off on a diagonal, your toes are 30 degrees out. Lower your back knee, use your left hand, widen your left thigh away. And if twist your monkey isn't for you, you could just stay here. Otherwise, pull the back heel towards your bum, engage to the hamstring, reach around with your hand to grab your foot. If that's not accessible for you, bending and straightening the knee is actually active range of motion. It's a really great way to stretch through the body. without creating a passive stretch. Take 2 more deep breaths here. Release your foot. Bring your hand forward, lift off of your back knee. Take a nice generous step up, Malasana squat. Press down and out through your legs. Inhale, circle sweep. Reach your arms high to the sky. Exhale, palms to heart, heel toe the feet back to hip distance. All right, here we are, dancer pose. Transfer your weight over towards your right foot. Pull your left heel towards your bum and grab for your foot. Doesn't matter which side of your foot you're holding, so don't worry too much about that. Find a nice, strong standing posture here. Know that you can bend your standing knee as much as you need. Bending your knee will give you access to your muscles, so it helps essentially keep you stable. All right, from the pelvis, stretch down and out through the standing leg and long through the spine. Reach your right arm high, inhale. As you exhale, kick your foot into your hand. Keep wrapping your hip down towards the earth. Keep your gaze on a fixed point. Typically, the earth is the easiest thing to look at. And you'll find a moment where you feel like it's a good spot to balance. Pause there and breathe for 2 breaths. And now the transitions are so important. So slow and controlled, come all the way back to that standing quad stretch. And release, Tadasana, mountain pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Spread through your opposite toes and pull your opposite foot towards your bum. Engage through your standing leg nice and strong. Root down into the 4 corners of that right foot. From the pelvis, stretch down and out through the leg and long through the spine. And start to kick your foot into your hand. Now, I don't want to see you opening up the hip, so think wrap that right hip down. And you'll kick until you feel a spot where it's like, okay, I kind of feel stuck, but I have the balance. Hold that, find your drishti, your gaze, your point of focus. The right big toe mound of your balancing foot is the first part to come unrooted. Keep pushing that down into the ground. All right, slow and controlled, unwind. Release your foot. Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, reach your arms high. And as you exhale, come down through chair pose. Squat, 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 but you're gonna keep going. Bring your arms forward or bring your hands to the earth if you need a little help and sit down. Last piece of practice. Bring your legs nice and wide. So if you are bringing your legs as wide as you can, I'm gonna ask you to come in a little bit. So maybe this is as wide as my body goes. So I'm coming in about 6 to 8 inches on each side. Sit nice and tall through your spine. Pull your toes straight up towards the sky. Bring your hands over to frame your right leg. Now you can point or flex your toes. Doesn't really matter, but do something to stay active in your legs. I'm gonna go with pointing because I like it better. And inhale, reach your right leg up for 1. This is hip flexors. 2, 3, 4, even if it's just an inch off the ground. 5, doesn't matter how high. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Release that leg. If you got cramps, give it like little punches or karate chops. That's normal. My hips flexors must be strengthened to actually come out of pain. Loosening isn't always the key. All right, second side. Frame your opposite leg with your fingertips. Refresh that posture. And again, if the legs are too wide, you can bring them in. It will be easier. If it's not accessible, try closer legs. And reach up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, halfway, 6, 7, breathe, 8, 9, 10, release, and punch it out. All right, bring yourself to frame the front of your mats. Bend your knees, ground your feet, spread through your toes. Bring your arms forward and take your time here. Inhale. And as you exhale, slow and control, lower yourself all the way down to your back. Really lowering vertebra by vertebra. So you're going to feel a part where it's going to kind of pull you, but you're not going to take the pull. Just keep trying to stay upright, and it might just pull you down. That's okay too. Once you feel your shoulder blades ground, that is when you can release and let go. Pull those knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. Rock a little side to side. Stretch your right leg out long on the earth. Pull your left knee way and wide towards your armpit. Bring your left arm out to a cactus, inhale. And exhale, twist, roll to the outside edge of your right hip. Gaze towards the left. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, melt your left shoulder blade down into the ground as you stretch your right hip towards the left corner of the mat. Take one more breath here. Inhale, unwind back to center. Second side, pull the right knee way and wide towards the armpit. Bring your left leg out long on the mat. Keep your left hand on the knee. Bring the right arm to a cactus or a T. Breath in. And exhale, twist over towards the left. Keep your gaze either towards the ceiling or look towards the right. Use your breath to get more length here. Inhale. Exhale, melt your right shoulder blade down, finding contact with the earth as you stretch that right hip over the body towards the left. Inhale, come back through center, pull both knees in. Find happy baby pose. So you could take prep and pull your knees way and wide towards the armpits. Maybe grab for behind the thighs, or if you want the full pose, grab for the outside edges of your feet. Ground your sacrum on the earth, pull your low back in. Pull your feet down as you press your feet into your hand, finding that co-contraction, the give and the receive. Taking a moment to just realign your spine. Bring your knees back in, wrap your forearms around your shins. Lift your shoulder blades off the mat, come into a tiny little ball. Inhale. As you exhale, stretch your legs out long with your palms facing up for a Shavasana shape. Let go of any breath in the lungs, HA. Take a full breath in. Maybe sip in a little more. Hold it. Open mouth, HA. Release through the jaw. Soften around the muscles on your face. And if you have the time, take the next few moments to rest and digest your practice on your mat today. Savasana.